Thank you. You can't eat that. You aren't skinny enough. You must work out more. You are not good enough. Those were the voices I would hear inside my head, the voices I listened to. I listened because those girls I saw on my smartphone, the girls I thought I wanted to look like. It was hard enough already comparing myself to the girls at school, but I became consumed with comparing myself to the girls on social media. Now, I wasn't overweight. I was an athlete, strong and muscular. But all the girls on Instagram were so skinny, and I wasn't skinny enough. According to Evoke, an online newsletter by Melinda Gates, 49% of people crop or alter their own photo before posting it on social media. Despite that, I would still compare their best aspects to the worst of mine. Social media can make girls question the way they look and make them believe they aren't good enough. And with the increased amount of hours young adults spend on social media, these young girls are constantly reminded of needing to have this ideal body, an ideal body that is constantly changing. So, how are we supposed to keep up? Taylor Swift, a powerful, strong, talented woman I've idolized for years, recently opened up about her eating disorder in her new documentary, Miss Americana. She says, and I quote, "There's always some standard of beauty that you're not meeting. Because if you're thin enough, you don't have that ass that everyone wants. But if you have enough weight on you to have an ass, then your stomach isn't flat enough. It's all just effing impossible." End quote. I drove myself crazy trying to fit this ideal body that society always made impossible to achieve. I didn't even realize what I was doing to myself. I didn't realize I had an eating disorder. All I could think about was that I wasn't skinny enough. I wasn't good enough. I couldn't see how thin I was becoming, how much I was hurting myself and my family. Eventually, I was hospitalized for malnourishment. I was only 12 years old. This was probably the most traumatic event of my life. And yet, even after my hospitalization, I would still look at these images on social media and compare myself to other girls. It's now 2 years later, and even with how much I've grown, I'm still vulnerable to these images. There was one thing that helped me get through all of this and continues to guide me, something that changed my perspective on body image. And ironically, it was on social media. When I was getting back into sports, my mother showed me the Instagram of a former college volleyball player, Victoria Garrick. Being that volleyball was my favorite sport and passion, I was of course intrigued. However, what interested me the most was the way that she used her platform to show how social media can affect the way we portray our bodies. For example, in some of Victoria's posts, on one side, she will show an image that highlights how her stomach looks thin and toned. On the other side, she will show almost the same image, except with a different position that highlights her stomach rolls. It's the same girl, same place, same time, same clothes, just a different pose, showing these images we see on social media are mostly an illusion. As actress and social media personality Lily Reinhart tells us, remind yourself that this perfect world you see online, in movies or magazines and TV are presented to you through so many different filters. So do not set impossible goals meeting those fake standards. We need more social media personalities like her and Victoria Garrick to promote positive body diversity. I believe the problem isn't social media, but how we use it. We need to break down this barrier of an ideal, unrealistic body image that can lead young girls into this comparison trap. A comparison trap which can control their lives, like it controlled mine. I know this isn't going to be changed overnight, and that I alone can't be the one to fix it. But if I can help just one girl by sharing my story, everything was worth it. And for those girls who may be listening to me right now, I want to leave you with this. As Victoria Garrick, the person who inspired me to open up and share my experience, tells us, the girl you're comparing yourself to is also comparing herself to someone else. We're all trying to be that other girl who is going to be you. Thank you.